Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I am just sharing a day in my life, so come along and spend the day with me as I work from home. This is just a typical work from home day for me. Right now, my husband is working from home pretty much full time and I am working from home half time. Obviously, our kids are now out of school too, and so this is what a normal day looks like for our family of four. My day always starts with coffee. I try to set the pot up the night before and have it ready to brew in the morning when I get up. And next I am taking a shower. I usually like to try and get up and take my shower before I start working for the day. Sometimes I don't always do that and I'll take a shower on my lunch break, but that's normally what I try to do. So I'm just kind of showing you what products I'm using on my hair this morning. I have some Kevin Murphy Shimmer Shine, some curl cream, and then I'm also using this spray from Davines. I have gotten questions before on my hair when I wear it curly, and so this is what I use. I think the key to curly hair is not brushing it out when you get out of the shower. At least for my hair, that helps it stay curlier. You can see that my hair has grown out quite a bit. I haven't had a haircut since long before the pandemic started, and I actually don't have one scheduled for another week, and so I have been typically wearing it more naturally and just wearing it curled. And so I just went ahead and sprayed the shimmer spray in there. That also just helps smooth it out. I used the curl cream, and then next I'm using the Davines spray, which is sort of a cross between like a spray gel and a hairspray. Any of these products I can find online. I will leave linked in the description box below. So I just wanted to show you guys my super duper casual outfit today. Black leggings and a white t-shirt, all from Torrid. I love Torrid's leggings. If you happen to be plus size like myself and you like a good legging that comes up high and holds you in, they are the best. So for breakfast this morning, I was making myself and my son Connor a smoothie. So I just have my blender cup there. I'm putting in 1 banana, some orange juice. I also had some mango that I had put into the freezer earlier in the week, along with a couple strawberries. I typically will put fruit in the freezer if we're not going to eat it up before it goes bad, and then I use it in smoothies. I'm also adding just a cup of the Dannon strawberry yogurt. I always like to add yogurt in smoothies. I think that it obviously gives it a little bit more calcium and makes the smoothie a little bit creamier. Most of the time when I work from home, I usually don't eat a big breakfast. I'll usually just either have coffee or a smoothie. I just wanted to take a quick moment and say that if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jen and I am a full-time working mom. My husband and I have 2 kids, and so you'll find lots of content just like this on my channel. Working mom vlogs, meal prep, and grocery hauls. Lots of things to hopefully inspire and motivate you, not just for parents, but for all people who are busy and trying to balance everything. So I'm trying to obviously balance out Connor's fruit smoothie with a waffle and cookie butter. I just did a Trader Joe's haul not too long ago and picked up some more cookie butter. So I just put a thin smear on each of his waffles. Don't worry, he doesn't get this every day. It's just a treat every once in a while. So I do have to say it's been quite interesting, both my husband and I working from home more during this time, trying to balance who sits where and who has calls and who helps keep the kids quiet. And so it's been working out for the most part. Adam actually has all his stuff set up at the dining room table, but recently moved it down to the office in the basement. He will have an office down there, or does have an office down there. We're working on finishing our basement right now, and the carpet will be getting put in a few weeks, so all of that is pending. But today I decided to sit at the kitchen island and work. I did have a few calls to be on, but Adam was able to stagger his with mine, and so it all worked out. I also have an office upstairs that I typically use for like my crafting and my YouTube work, and if I have more important calls that I need to lead or present on, then I'll sit up there just so I can have quiet and shut the door. And I even have a sign that I can hang on the door that says I'm on a call, so the kids won't bother me. We are pretty lucky during this time though, because our kids are older. They are almost 8 and 11, so they pretty much can entertain themselves during the day. We just have to, make sure that they are eating lunch and hydrating properly. So right now I am taking my morning break and getting dinner in the crock pot. This is a chicken poblano soup that I had made as a freezer meal. I can type the recipe out down below as best I remember it, but basically this is a soup that has chicken broth in it, chopped poblanos, corn, chicken breast, and some other spices like chili and cumin. And basically that's just going to cook on low all day, and it will be ready for dinner later in the evening. I'm going to serve it with some quesadillas. So now it's time to get back to work. I typically, my hours are 6:30 to 3, and so I do get up pretty early regardless of whether I'm going to work or working from home. That's just kind of the way that we have always had it set up, is that I go in earlier and get off earlier, and Adam would normally be the one to go to work later and get off later. He kind of gets the kids ready for school in the morning, and I would, get them after school and take them to their activities. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out when school starts in the fall. We're not quite sure what's going to happen yet. So I am now having a coffee before lunch because, I just can't stop drinking coffee. But seriously, the length of this pandemic has been directly proportional to my coffee intake. Right now I am making some espresso, and I'm going to make an iced latte. So I have this Bosch Tassimo machine that's actually pretty old. I got it for Christmas maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even longer than that. Since I filmed this video, I actually had to get rid of this because it broke. But if you guys have a suggestion for a good way to make espresso at home, I would love to hear it in the comments. I love making iced lattes at home. It's like my favorite thing. Really strong espresso and a splash of milk. I do have a Keurig, but yeah, I'd be interested if you guys have any other suggestions. All right, so for lunch today, the kids are having some good old Kraft mac and cheese with hot dogs. You guys have to let me know if that's a thing in your house for your kids. My kids love it. And essentially, yeah, super easy. Just make a box of Kraft mac and cheese. I cut up some hot dogs and throw them in with the noodles, like the last maybe 4 or 5 minutes that they're boiling, and just mix up the cheese sauce like you normally would. Now, I do have to say, even though I am a realist, and yes, my kids eat processed food and mac and cheese and chicken nuggets and all that, I do really try to do a good, strong job of always having fresh fruits and vegetables and produce with their meals. And so right now I am just cutting up some peaches that I had gotten at the grocery store that weekend. Anytime that I can prep produce for my kids and either store it in the refrigerator or set it out with a meal. It makes it that much easier and obviously more likely that they'll eat it. So a lot of times on the weekends, I'll make up like a big fruit salad and store that in mason jars or little containers so they can easily portion it out and eat it for breakfast and lunch. But in this case, I just took a second to cut these up. And then for my lunch today, I am going to have a salad, which I'll show you here in a little bit. These peaches were actually really ripe and good, and the kids gobbled them right down. So this salad may look familiar to you. It was actually a meal prep that I did in my last meal prep video, which I can link down below. And even though I'm working from home, I still find it helpful to do meal prep on the weekends, because if I don't, then it's like I can't be bothered to make something healthy. I'll just grab like a TV dinner out of the freezer, eat chips and salsa or something like that. So I do always try to have something at least halfway prepped and healthy that I can eat. And then later that afternoon, I had to have a Diet Coke fix. So I actually tried this new cherry vanilla Diet Coke, which is really good. I recommend it if you can find it in your grocery store. Oh, look, and I'm having more coffee. I didn't realize I had so much coffee on this day. I promise you guys, I really do drink water. I do drink water throughout the day. I just obviously did not feel like it was worth filming on this particular day for whatever reason. So now it is after work, and we got a delivery from Chewy.com today. That is where we get our dog food and dog treats from. If you guys haven't tried it out and you have pets, I would definitely recommend it. It is so convenient to have your dog food delivered to you. I will never go back. Not having to buy dog food at Walmart when I go there is like the awesomest thing ever. So I had some clean dishes in the dishwasher that I needed to put away, and put some dirty dishes in there. I feel like now that we're home more and Adam's home all the time and the kids are home all the time, that we're just doing dishes constantly. And I do use paper plates every once in a while. I probably buy a pack, every 2 or 3 weeks or so. I try not to, but we do sometimes use them for either breakfast or lunch. Not for dinner. We always eat dinner on regular plates unless it's pizza night or something like that. So sometimes my kids put away the dishes. I guess I didn't make them do it on this day. I actually need to revamp their chore charts. Now that it's summertime, we do actually have chore charts for them that I have hung on the inside of our pantry door, and there's a dry erase marker, and they each have like 5 or 6 chores that they have to do either every day or once a week, depending on what kind of chore it is. And then their allowance is $5 a week if they complete all of those, but they have to complete all of them. It's either like it's all or nothing. It's not like a prorated chore list. So if they don't get them all done, then they don't get the whole $5. Super thankful to have a really great dishwasher that works really well. When we built our house, I had a Bosch dishwasher put in, and it has worked perfectly so far. I have had no problems with it. The only issue that I sometimes have is it doesn't get the dishes all the way dry, and so typically when the cycle is over, I'll just crack the door open and put like a pot holder in there just to let the steam out. But other than that, it works great. And I spent many years of my life throughout college and when Adam and I were first married without a dishwasher or without an effective dishwasher. So I definitely can appreciate that. And one thing I'll say too is that if you do have a dishwasher, I think that it's important, if you can, to have a water softener in your house. Our first house, we had a dishwasher, but we didn't have a water softener. And so that hard city water will definitely create those, mineral deposits on your dishwasher. And it doesn't take long before it just doesn't work at all, and then you end up hand washing all of your dishes. So right now I am hand washing the dishes that I need to do, we have like a bunch of reusable tumblers that we use, and I typically do not like to put those in the dishwasher. On the side for dinner tonight, I was having more fruit yet. We had 2 pounds of strawberries that I needed to get washed up, and so I'm just washing those up in my salad spinner with water and then vinegar. I put a splash of vinegar in there just to make sure that it loosens all the dirt. I let those soak for about 10 minutes and then I give them a good rinse. Sometimes people ask me if my produce tastes like vinegar, and no, it doesn't at all. I've never had that problem. So here's what the soup looked like after it cooked all day. The chicken was super tender, and I did try to break up some of those larger chunks. I also added some lime juice for freshness and then adjusted the salt and pepper to taste. So I'm also going to make some cheese quesadillas to go on the side of this. So I am using the griddle on my stovetop. This came with our stove, and it's one of those things that I didn't really think that I would use when we bought the stove, but I actually use it more than I thought I would, typically for doing stuff like this or when I make pancakes. So I just sprayed the griddle with some nonstick spray, and I put some flour tortillas down, sprinkled them with some cheese, and sprayed the top. Now I'm going to get my strawberries cut up. I had actually bought 4 pounds of strawberries at the grocery store the previous weekend because they were on sale. So when I do that, I do like to wash a lot of my produce on the weekends, but if I buy multiple packages of strawberries, typically I'll only wash up one container, and then when we get through those, I'll wait and wash up the other one. But fruit does typically last, for us at least, about 3 to 4 days in the fridge. And like I said earlier, if it's something that you're not going to eat right away and you think that it's going to go bad, just put it in a baggie and throw it in the freezer, and then you can use it in your smoothies. So I'm just going to get these quesadillas flipped over. This dinner was pretty well received. I would say that my kids did not like the soup all that much. They did eat a little bit of it. Mostly they like the cheese quesadillas, but it's like, who doesn't like a cheese quesadilla? I thought the soup was really good. And then one thing I forgot to say also is that I added 4 ounces of cream cheese at the end to make the soup creamier. So I had mine with some crushed up tortilla chips on top and some fresh cilantro and some sour cream and a quesadilla on the side. And that was our dinner on this evening. Next, after dinner, I just like to get any leftovers packed up. This is a Sistema soup container that I really like. I got it online. I'll link it down below, but it's super convenient to be able to take soup to work with that. And I did have to go into work the next day, so if I can, I always want to pack my lunch the night before so that I'm not scrambling in the morning to get that pulled together. Next, I'm just going to get Connor's bath water ready for his bath this evening. So the first step to this recipe is to make the marinade for the chicken. And so for this, I added to my measuring cup some lemon juice, vinegar, olive oil, and minced garlic. I used a garlic press, as well as some dried oregano and salt and pepper. This marinade, you can marinate the chicken for up to 24 hours, but I actually only marinated it for about 30 to 60 minutes, and it worked out just fine. There was plenty of flavor in the marinade to flavor the chicken breast. So I just have my chicken breast in a shallow. So after Connor got out of the tub, I had some YouTube work to do. I was filming a voiceover for that meal prep video that I was talking about earlier, and you guys are lucky that you didn't see me talking with my hands while I was doing it, because sometimes I do talk with my hands while I'm doing the voiceover. Obviously you can't see that, but I am a hand talker, and so it helps me to be able to express myself if I'm talking with my hands, even though no one can see me. So I ended up with the blue screen of death on this evening, and in general just went through many problems trying to get this video uploaded. I had to reset our router. Finally, I got it up a little bit later than I like to, but I was glad to get that accomplished for the day. That was definitely one of my goals. So I am also going to prep a salad to take to work also, along with that soup that I prepped. So I just have these greens from the farmer's market, and I prepped them last weekend. I always think that it's great to have as much produce prepped as you can because it helps you eat it throughout the week. This was also a cucumber that I had gotten from the farmer's market, so I'm just going to chop that up and get it into the salad. I'm also going to use some of the green goddess dressing that I prepped in that meal prep video. If you guys haven't tried that yet, that dressing is so good. I've been loving having it in the fridge this week and just using it to make salads on the side for dinner and salads for lunch meal prep. It has also been great having all of those greens from the farmer's market. I'm actually going back to the farmer's market in the morning, and I hope to grab some more produce. The last time I went, it was a little bit of slim pickings, but as the season progresses, they will definitely have more and more. I know I've talked about this salad container before, but I think it's worth mentioning again because it works so great. This is an OXO salad container. You can find them on Amazon for less than $15, and they work super awesome for transporting your salad to work or anywhere that you need to, if that's something that you like to do like I do. So now it is time to get ready for bed. I think it was probably around 10 o'clock here. Honestly, I need to get better about going to bed earlier. I'm not great at it. I usually sit in my bed on my phone for about 45 minutes before I fall asleep, but such is life, right? I can tell you one thing that I have gotten better at as I'm pushing 40 here sooner than I'd like is taking care of my skin at night. I always just used to be so lazy about washing my face, and I do have pretty good skin. I'm not super prone to breakouts, but as I get older, I think that it's just more important to buy quality skincare products and take care of your skin because you have one face, right? And we're all getting older. We aren't getting any younger. So now I'm just setting my alarm for the next morning when I go to work. That's it for this Spend the Day with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. There are 2 videos on the right here if you are interested in seeing more day in the life videos from me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.